If you would have told me 6 weeks ago that I would be in Costa Rica having surgery, I would have thought you were crazy. I'm 61 years old. No one had ever asked me about my oral care. And so I said, well, I have 6 root canals. And the look on her face, she said, well, I have 6 root canals. And in the United States, when you go to the dentist and you have pain, they just say, you need a root canal. There's no discussion. You need a root canal, here's who you go see. So I did that 6 times. So in Iowa, there's a fantastic biological dentist. He took out the 6 root canals, put ceramic implants in. He's been training in Switzerland with Dr. Fernández, which I didn't know at the time. Everything went great, but number 14, that implant fell out after about 6 weeks. So I ended up doing the sinus lift. Terrible procedure, very painful. Recovery was very challenging. 10 times worse than having a 16-hole implants put in. I found out on December 22nd that my sinus lift had failed. There wasn't enough bone. He said, you have 2 options. You can just not have that tooth for the rest of your life, or you can just not have that tooth. After about 2 weeks, I called Dr. TRYBE back and I said, okay, if you're telling me Costa Rica is the place to go, I 100% trust you. But I said, here's my question. If this was your wife, your mother, your sister, or your daughter, where would you send? He said, 100% to Dr. Fernández in Costa Rica. I said, okay, that's all I needed to hear. And then the rest is history. Tatiana has been fantastic. She has sort of been my point person, and she sent me the treatment plans. This is what's going to happen when you get here day by day. From the moment I arrived, the staff here, from Tatiana to the front desk, to Dr. Sophia, to Dr. Monica, everything was great. All I can say is from the front desk to Dr. Fernández and everything in between, everyone in between has been kind. Bobby is fantastic. She could not have been kinder. I barely even felt it. So, and the dental care between Dr. Sophia and Dr. Monica, fantastic. And then, of course, Dr. Fernández. Once Dr. Fernández actually got his hands on my mouth, there were several other things that he suggested that would improve. So we did a gum graft. He's like, you have a filling that's gone bad, we need to fix that. So we did actually 2 other things that weren't planned. I also had an implant that was hanging by a thread. He said, I really think we need to take that out. And then once the bone graft heals, we'll put that implant back in. Day of surgery, fantastic. My biggest fear was the level of pain I would experience because the prior sinus lift took me out for about 2 weeks. And I'm normally super high energy, hiking every day, very, very active. He assured me, he said, your pain will be on a scale of 1 to 10, a 2 or a 3. And he said, I can guarantee that. He was 100% right. I have been about a 2, maybe a 3 at the most. And I have not really taken that much pain medication. I mean, he's just a genius. And I remember asking him, to me, my surgery felt like on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like, he said, 50% of my cases are extremely complicated. He said, you are nowhere near. You're like a 2. So that made me feel better that he's done this procedure many, many times successfully. And so that put my mind at ease. One thing that was important to me before I came down is to talk to someone else that had gone through this experience. And so I talked to 3 different patients, and I will say all 3 of them said to me, and I will also quote this, best medical experience they had ever had. And I will tell you, hands down, from my perspective, best medical experience without a doubt.